So I'm going to make short shrift of the slides. I think that the demo itself is self-explanatory. So my experience with AI, I've been working with it since 2022 as a user experience practitioner, well acquainted with, through my job with compliance and as a kind of a side thing, even 508 compliance and other aspects of making things follow the rules. I've been an experimenter since then, just on my own, just solving problems. Some of them are just things that I'm curious about. Some of them just looking for ways that AI can do something really fabulous that I've never seen before. And so these things are really come out of my own curiosity and desire to learn. And so one of these use cases came up. It was just a use case that my family faces or has faced in the past is complex medical bills, working with terminology that's hard to understand, maybe mismatches with explanations of benefits. And I thought, well, this is something that has to be really common. And I set out to solve the problem with AI. The stack that I used was using Google Anti-Gravity. I have a couple of different APIs that I could choose from and really landed on the Claude API, which worked the best. And I was really just doing this for myself. It was one of my experiments. And then I went to a founders roundtable a month or two ago and shared it. I just shared it on my phone and people really responded. And I thought, well, maybe this thing has legs or some more potential here. On the other side, I shared it with a consultant who works on the opposite side with payers and hospitals. And they actually kind of wanted to put the kibosh on it. I think their aspect is, hey, all this stuff is tied up in NDA between the hospitals and the payers. Each hospital has its own individual agreement with the payers. And so I asked him, well, how do you do your hospital bills? Like when you go to the hospital, what do you do? And he had this whole Byzantine process. Well, first of all, don't take the iPad. I get them to print out the agreements and he's striking things out and he never signs them. He puts instead of putting a signature, he puts like as the hospital at the hospital request or some cryptic phrasing. And so it made me really think even more. So, well, there's kind of, I wouldn't know what to call it, maybe a power differential. Maybe somebody should do something with this. And I started to think, well, maybe I should just share this around and keep this idea alive. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me see, share screen and showing tips, share screen. And it's allowing to do the thing, share entire screen is fine. And I'm going to share. And this is, can everyone see the medical bill explain before I demo it? So the primary issue with a tool like this is privacy. So it never saves any of your data. End-to-end encryption. Does not train the AI on your data and it automatically forgets the data. As out of abundance of caution, I also have a disclaimer. This tool provides patient advocacy and transparency support only. It's not medical or legal advice. Verify information with your provider insurance plan. It's a very simple interface. Describe your questions or concern. I'll just go with why is my bill so high? And bill so high, I could spell that. And I've uploaded my own medical bills to this for testing, but for this, I'm just going to load a sample of an emergency room bill. I've embedded this into the interface just for demoing purposes. I'm going to confirm that the information provided is mine and subject to the privacy policy. And it'll begin analyzing the bill. While we're waiting, I'll just kind of go through some of the things it'll do. So if I'm curious about why I was billed so much, it'll go through the bill. It goes through the CPT codes, which are licensable from American Medical Association. And then goes through an entire database of historical billing patterns in order to make an analysis. So here you'll see It's explaining the EOB. It says your emergency room visit has been denied based on the reasoning that it wasn't medically necessary. Now, this is a very common explanation that oftentimes on deeper scrutiny you can find is challengeable. Question is, was it a level 4 emergency department visit? And there's certain criteria that they have for determining the level of an emergency department visit. Was it just a cut? Was it a broken bone? And there's criteria for all that. So it can go into as a denial of medically necessary services often points to insufficient documentation. So it may be about providing documentation. So it goes into then the questions that you can go to your insurer or your medical provider, gives you very specific next steps. And then you'll see up here, there's actually tabs up here. So here are the questions that you would ask your provider. It gives you an appeal packet and a quick recommendation. This is likely eligible for appeal based on a strategy reasoning. It drafts the letter, and it gives you a checklist of what to request, a comprehensive review of the documentation. That's for a copy of the specific criteria used to make this determination. And then there's other assets that'll give you. You can download the letter, download the packet, print to save the PDF. And because I'm a nerd, I gave you the raw JSON in case you just want to plug it into another AI. So this is the MVP. I would welcome any kind of feedback, positive or negative on this. Again, this is something I built for my own use, and but have been told by others that this has potential. I have reached out to some patient advocacy organizations that could potentially use this. But as far as that goes, you're the only other ones who have seen it. Thank you for your time. Should I stop sharing my screen at this point? I can.
Yeah, we can pull it out. First of all, we're honored to be one of the first to see this. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for coming, taking your time in this lovely Sunday and presenting it to us. So let's bring our judges up, and I believe they're honored too to be one of the first of seeing this. And we can start with Oleg, since you were last before. Just remember, guys, we have one more presentation, so Luis is already waiting. So let's try to keep the questions concise. And if any other questions arise, you can send it to us, and then we'll forward them to Bill. Thank you. Oleg, please.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll try to keep with just one question. So the main one is how this tool really handle all those variety of the different hospital agreements and NDAs, and you mentioned that, but it's still kind of what really irritates. How could you take into consideration each and every?
Well, even though there are NDAs involved, there are also billing patterns that would be evident and are already it's already producing an analysis that's based on common billing patterns by hospitals and providers. The determination of medically necessary is not proprietary. So those things are shared across the board, and you find there are patterns that are evident throughout. Yes.
So they can be patternized in this case. Thank you.
Correct. And then also, this might be called a real business case, is how when these patterns of thousands of bills are uploaded over time, it can improve its intelligence. And so that's really, in some ways, that's the business case.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Anita?
Yes. Thank you for sharing your presentation, Bill. As someone who works in the healthcare field, I truly appreciate what you're doing for the patient side, because in-house, we do the same for the hospital side. It's always a battle with payers and insurance agencies. But my question is, you talked about everything I was going to ask questions on, except the pricing or business module. Do you have that in mind, or is this currently just like a product you're working on, and then you think about that later. And my other question is, you talked about the AI module for getting the data, but then later on you talked about the module getting smarter. So is there a way that you are extracting information semantically and then using that to train the module so that the patient's data is kept private, but the module is still trained?
That's a great question. In this case, because it doesn't follow HIPAA requirements, the patient's information has to be completely erased and anonymized. On the billing side, that can be anonymized too, but the use cases of the actual why things were being built for, once it's anonymized, you can still use that and develop patterns of behavior. So the patterns of behavior can be collected and used for intelligence, but the personally identifiable information is removed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And also, I just want to say this is not something there's no intent to villainize, the billers and providers, because this is a very complex problem that there's many stakeholders involved. But on the patient side, which I would call the last mile, I think that there is a power differential, or there's enough of that they have so little knowledge of what is happening opposite side that they could use a little bit more support, and that's what it's designed to do.
Got it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Thank you, Anita, for your question. Gargi?
Yeah. Thank you, Bill, for the presentation. This is really a problem mostly every users are experiencing sometime in their life. Uh, my question is, what liability exists if your AI tells a patient that the bill is wrong, but when it's actually not? How do you handle that?
I'm sorry, I had a little trouble hearing your question because of the audio. Would you mind repeating it?
Sure. What liability exists when your AI, like your model, says that the bill is wrong, but actually it isn't? How do you handle that case?
I think I'm glad you asked that question, because this goes into the lead in as far as this thing being productized or whatever you want to call it. This is a 51% MVP. I would say 40% of it or 30% of it is going to be compliance based. It's legal. It's in the very category you're talking about it. So that would be if I was to develop resources to improve it or make it stable or more of a product. That's what would really be required to pull this off. So I'm very open about that part.
Got it. And the last one, like, do you have a real example when your system got an error, like from the actual patient or the provider that have probably missed?
Again, there's some audio problems. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Would you mind repeating it?
Sure. Can you show a real example when your system got an error with which patient or the provider would have missed? Like, do you have any real data showcasing that this works?
I have tested it with real data. Are you asking if I have an example of real data that I've
Yeah.
tested with? Yes, I've tested. Well, it's not something I would test on screen in a public venue like this, but I have done robust testing with it with many types of medical bills. However, this is not the same as red teaming it, so it has not been red teamed.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for your questions. Thank you, Bill, for your presentation. We know that this is a very, very big problem on places where medical expenses are high, right? But yeah, thank you for what you're done, for what you're doing. Don't hesitate to show this, because, like you said, it has legs. It will go forward. I definitely can see that. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here.